More than a few years ago now, my father-in-law passed away in rural Illinois. I remember as we were in the funeral procession heading out of town on our way to the cemetery, I watched in awe as people literally pulled off the road so that our procession could get by. Some of them who were veterans actually got out of the car and saluted because the flag was prominently displayed in the hearse which carried my father-in-law's body. It's so different than where I'm at in South Florida. And those were different times, true, but also a different place. Today, it seems like people don't want to be inconvenienced and everyone is in such a rush. I have been in funeral processions as clergy where I've seen somebody cut in, try to get ahead of us, and then literally hit the police officer on his motorcycle that was leading us to the cemetery. I've been in funeral processions where they have cut right in front of the family car, almost causing an accident so that they could get over in the next lane. I've seen people screaming and waving their hands and upset when we're carrying the body of a loved one to their final resting place. And let's not forget the time that I was actually at a funeral procession where somebody rear-ended the hearse when they cut in, causing an accident and causing a big scene in which the casket had to be removed and placed into another emergency vehicle because the hearse, well, you couldn't drive it. It was so damaged. I've often wondered about these inconveniences and where we are at today. It seems like we just don't want to be inconvenienced for anything, even for something as important as some family who is laying their loved one to rest. Oh, I know sometimes there may be people that are heading to the hospital or they have a really good reason for rushing. But I just think that we're really not deploying the empathy often that we need to. We're in a society today that seems to want to think that everything revolves around them and how it impacts them specifically, when really all of us need to think about the other too at times. We have to put ourselves in their shoes and say, I wonder how I would feel if I was in my loved one's funeral procession and somebody cut in or caused an accident or was irritated because we were going too slow. Empathy is an important thing. It doesn't mean that you and I have to agree about everything, but it means that at least I'm going to take the time to step over to your side and try to look at things from your perspective. Perspective is such an important thing. And I think if we began to look at things from other people's perspective too, we might just allow ourselves from time to time to be inconvenienced.